Today training is about helmets, hard helmets, color coding that we are using in construction industry or different industries used by the different workers, and what are their meanings, why we have to use the color coded helmets, and what are the things we have to check when we are purchasing and when we are using these color coded helmets. So all this information I will share with you. I will share some legal requirements also and Osha's requirements as well regarding hard helmets. So please be with me. And before we go further for our training, I would like to request that please do not forget to subscribe my channel and like my videos, and do share with your friends and colleagues also. And do not forget to press the bell icon so you will get the notification on timely basis. So let's start our training. Helmets, color coding, hard helmets, color coding, their definitions, and certain other requirements and information related to the hard helmets. First of all, why are hard helmets heads? They are important. Hard heads are important because they help protect workers from potential hazards. Hard heads are required by law also in different industries, and the color of hard heads can help workers to stay aware of their surroundings. And by the color coding of the hard heads, you can recognize the different workers also and different position also in the industries. Many workplace accidents happen on the sites that affect the male and female workers, and we can reduce the severity of the hazard by using safety helmets or hard heads. So it is also important to know about the helmet colors and certain other requirements which is required by law. That is very, very important. Now, there are some very, very important things that we need to consider, that we need to keep in mind whenever we are purchasing these hard heads. So it is important to consider the type of job or activity you will be using it for. So you have to consider that what type of job and who is going to use that helmet. First thing. The second one, there are many different types of hard heads and each offers different features. So you have to check that which features you are looking for before you purchase it. Some hard heads are designed for specific industries, while others are more general purpose. So if you will see, there are some hard heads are specifically designed for different industries, and some general hard heads are designed for construction industries, which we are using by only by the color coded. Okay. And it is also important to consider the climate you will be working in, as some hard hats are designed for cold weather and other for hot weather. So you have to check that which weather you are going to use that hard hats. So as per these requirements, you have to choose the hard hats so that will be suitable for your workers. So these things you have to consider before you purchase any hard hats. Now, why color coded? Why we need to use the color code? What is the important and what is the importance behind it? In 2016, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration OSHA updated its standard regarding the hard hat color codes. The update was made in a response to new research on the best ways to improve safety at work site. So how we can improve the safety at the work site? As per that, that was a research happened by the OSHAs. The new standard required hard hats to be a single color rather than multiple colors. The color must be easily visible from all sides. So OSHA required that, and OSHA implemented the standard that the helmet which we are using at the work site, that should be only the single color, not the multicolor, and that should be visible from far away, from all sides also. The new standard also required hard hats to be labeled with the manufacturer's name, the model number, and the date of manufacturers. So these details should be there with the helmet. After then, purpose of helmet color code. Why we need to use the color code? The purpose of the safety helmet color code is to help workers identify potential hazards. First, the second one, hard hats are required by law in many countries, and the colors of hard hats can help workers stay aware of their surroundings. And there are different color codes for different types of hazards, so it is important to know what each color means. So when you are working in an industries, if the people they are wearing different types of helmets and different color of helmets, you have to be aware about the meaning of each color. So it will be easy for you to identify the people by their helmets color code also. Hard hats color code. Different colors often have different meanings on different work sites. So it is important to ask your supervisor or safety coordinator what the color mean on your work site. So that you have to check. After then, whenever we are purchasing any hard hats, these are the requirements we have to fulfill, and we have to make sure that we are meeting with the OSHA's requirement and we are compliance with the OSHA's requirement. An OSHA approved hard hat is a hard hat that meets ANSI Z89.1.29 CFR 1910.135B1 and 29 CFR and 12900B state that head protection must meet the 1997, 2003 or 2009 editions of ANSI Z89.1 or be shown to offer equivalent or better protection. So these are the standards and these are the things we have to check whenever we are purchasing any hard hat. And these standards defines types and classes of hard hats for a specific hazardous situation. So it will define the types and the classes of hard hats because there are different types and different classes of hard hats that we're gonna learn through this training. Second, design and performance requirements for impact, penetration, and electrical shock. And there are some requirements from the NSI that design and performance for like the impact, penetration, and electrical shock whenever the person will come into these things. After that, testing requirements to ensure OSHA compliance. And these helmets should be tested. For the safety, these helmets should be tested to comply with the OSHA requirements. All the manufacturers typically test and certify their products. Employees need to verify that their hard hats meet OSHA requirements. So it is the employee requirements. Whenever they are purchasing these helmets, they should be aware about the OSHA requirements. These are the one, and they need to verify these requirements with the supplier whenever they are purchasing. Now, what are the different ANSI hard hat categories? ANSI Z89.1 defines two types of hard hats and establishes three classes of hard hats based on the level of the hazard protection provided. Now, there are two types of hard hats. The first one is the type 1. Type 1 offers protection on the top of the head and is commonly used in the United States. So this is the one. So this is the type 1 helmet head that will provide the protection from the second one is a type 2 offers protection the top and sides of the head and is commonly used in Europe. This is the one. It will provide the protection from the top and the side also, and it will be used usually by the European. After that, this one, it is used by the United States. After that, hard hat classes. There are three different hard hat classes. The three classes are based on the level of protection they provided from electrical hazards. So class G, it is a general hard hats are rated for 2200 volts. That is a safety will provided from the electrical shock. After that, class E electrical hard hats are rated for 20,000 volts. So it can provide the safety for 20,000 volts. Then the class C, it is a conductive hard hats do not offer electrical protection. So it will not, it is a 0 volts. So it will not provide any protection from the electrical hazards. So these two, class G and E, will provide the safety from the electrical hazards. So it will provide the 2200 volts and it will provide the safety for 20,000 electrical volts. Now hard hat color codes and their meanings. Now we will move into the color of hard hats. What are the different types of color code in helmets, hard hats are there, and what are their meanings, and that we have to understand. Here we will discuss the most common hard hat color codes and their meanings that will be used by the different industries and the construction industries also. The first one we have green hard hats. Green hard hats are most commonly associated with safety as they signal that there are no safety hazards present. It will be used by the safety inspector, safety officers, safety managers, usually wear green hard hats or green helmets at the work site. Sometimes new workers or employees who have little experience may also be designated to wear green hard hats. Doing so allows others to easily identify them and offer assistance or guidance if needed. Green hard hats is also used by the first aider also. So whenever any first aid team, they will arrive at the site, or the first aider, they are providing any assistance, they will use the green hard hats also. After then, we have the white hard hats. When it comes to the work site safety, white hard hats or white helmets are often seen as a symbol of authority. And these hard hats are used by the site managers, foremen, engineers, supervisors, and hard hats offer protection from falling objects and debris also. They also help keep your head cool in hot weather. And while white hats are most commonly associated with construction sites, they can also be worn in other settings where there is a risk of head injuries also. After then, the third one, we have blue hard hats. As a safety measures, blue hard hats or blue safety helmets are generally worn by technical operators, electricians, other workers who work with the live electrical wires. So they will use the blue hard hats. The use of blue hard hats serves as the universal warning sign to stay away from the potential danger zone. While the use of blue hard hat is not mandatory, it is highly recommended as a safety precautions. Wearing a blue hard hat can help protect you from serious injury or even death if you come in contact with live electrical wires. The fourth one, we have red hard hats. Red hard hats are usually used by the fire marshals. Hats complete with stickers fire marshal. This is to indicate their authority on the scene and to also protect them from any falling debris. And then yellow hard hats. Yellow hard hats are typically worn by the construction workers and earth moving operators as they are easy to spot from a distance. Wearing a yellow hard hat can help protect workers from head injuries as well as help them being seen by others also. So they can be seen by others from far away also, as yellow color will reflect also. And hard hats are required on many construction sites, and wearing one can help ensure a worker's safety. After then, we have the orange hard hats. Orange hard hats are typically worn by the lifting operatives, bankmen, slangers, and signalers or traffic marshals. So this is all. This is so the crane operators can pick them out from other operatives. Then we have number 7, brown hard hats. A brown hard hat is a type of headgear worn by welders and other workers with high heat applications. So welders, whenever they're doing the welding works, they will use the brown color hard hats also. Sorry. It is typically made of sturdy materials such as leather or metal and is designed to protect the head from debris, spark, and heat. Then we have the number 8. It is a black hard hats. Black hard hats are usually worn by workers who work in the hot environment as they help absorb heat and keep the worker's head cool. Hard hats are made from different materials, including plastic, metal, fiberglass. They are required to be worn in many workplaces, including construction sites, factories, and mines. Number 9, we have gray hard hats. Gray hard hats are safety gear that is worn by workers or general laborers who are working in close proximity to high voltage electrical equipment and wiring. Whenever any worker is working with the high electricity, electrical work equipment and the wiring, they need to use this gray color helmet also and hard hats. Hard hats help protect the workers from electrical shock and burns. Gray hard hats are also worn by site visitors who need to be protected from the same hazards. Look at the number 10, which is the pink hard hats. Pink hard hats are usually worn by women on construction sites. In some cases, they may also be worn by men who want to show their support to breast cancer awarenesses also. Wearing a pink hard hat is a way to show solidarity with those who are fighting the disease to raise awareness for the cause. So these are the different types of helmets and hats that we are using, different colors of hats that we are using. After then, there are some other hard hats also that we are using. The first one, we have reflective hard hats. Construction workers, utility workers, and railroad workers are just a few of the many people who need to wear reflective hard hats on the job. Reflective hard hats help make these workers more visible to oncoming traffic or other workers in low light conditions. Wearing a reflective hard hat can help prevent workplace accidents and injuries on the job site. Other hard hats we have with the air protection. Hard hats with air protection are worn by workers who need to be protected from loud noise levels. This can include construction workers, factory workers, and anyone who works in a loud environment. Hard hats with air protection can help to reduce the risk of hearing loss and other problems associated with exposure to loud noise. This hard hat is very, very important whenever you have to use more than one PPE, like you have to use the hard hat also, or you have to use the air defenders, or you have to protect yourself from the high noise. So this hard hat will work for both. So that will avoid the issues with the PPE requirement also. Hard hats with face shields. Workers who need to be protected from the flying objects or chemicals often wear hard hats with face shields. Face shields provide an extra layer of protection from potential hazards and are especially important in work environments where there is a risk of exposure to dangerous chemicals or other substances. Wearing a face shields can also help to protect the wearer's face from harmful ultraviolet rays. So these are the helmets that and hard hats that we have to use at the different work sites for the different tasks and related to the hazards also and different work when we are carrying out. So I hope this is clear that what type of color of hard hat you have to use and why you have to use and what are the protection that will provide you. Now, when you are using any hard hats, these are the things at least you need to consider before you use. Before wearing, carefully inspect the hard hat, include all components and accessories for any signs of damage. Look for dents, cracks, holes due to penetration, or any other damage due to impact, wear, or rough treatment might reduce the degree of protection originally provided with the hard hat. So before you are using, you have to inspect your hard hat if there is any damage or any other issues related with the hard hat. A hard hat with excessively worn, damaged, or defective areas should be removed from services that should not be used. Any hard hat that has received an impact may have a reduced ability to protect a worker and should be removed from service. If any hard hat come into contact with any accident or incident and that is reduce the impact ability, that should be reduced also, that should be removed from the service also. During inspection, if there are signs that a hard hat has lost the glossy finish, a chalky appearances is beginning to emerge, or the shell is starting to flake away, these may be signs of UV radiation damage, which can cause a hard hat to lose some effectiveness. So do not store or carry hard hats on their rear window shelf of a vehicle. Sunlight and extreme heat can cause the hard hat to degrade faster, and the helmet can become a flying object hazard in emergency braking situation. So these are the things you have to consider. And do not intentionally drop or throw hard hats or use them as support because damage can adversely affect their level of protection. So these helmets or hard hats will not provide you the protection which is they are designed for. Do not alter, modify a hard hat to add accessories unless it is an approved method provided by the manufacturer. You are not allowed to do any alteration or any modification to the hard hat and unless it is not approved or accepted by the manufacturer. Remember these important tips when it comes to head protection and hard hats. Always be aware of any possible hazard to your head. Not every hard hat is the same. So whenever you are choosing the hard hat, you need to be very, very careful and you have to consider the things which I have mentioned earlier. The type of protection provided can be very different depending on the type of hard hat. OSHA requires hard hats to meet the special requirements and be marked with ANSI Z89.1. Worker exposed to electrical hazard must wear the appropriate head protection for the type of electrical hazard that they have class G, E, and C. Inspect your hard hat daily for the sign of damage before you are using. And some hazards to the head may require workers to use hard hats designed for impacts to the sides as well as the top of the head. Workers need training to recognize the types of hazard requiring head protection, how to properly wear, maintain their head protection, and when to replace it. So these are the trainings need to be provided to the workers by the supervisors, by the line managers, or by any superior person to the workers, so they can use the hard hats appropriately. Make sure your hard hat fits properly when you are using it. If your hard hat is too large or too small, even if it meets all the requirements, it will not protect you properly. So you have to get the properly fitted hard hat. Hard hat accessories must not compromise the safety elements of the protective helmet. And always replace a hard hat if it has sustained any kind of impact. Even if damage is not noticeable, you have to replace it hard hat if they have cracks or so sign of damage. So these are the things you have to remember when you are using your hard hats, and these are the things you have to check related to the hard hats. So thank you so much. That's all from my side. I hope you like this video and the information which I have shared with you. And please do not forget to subscribe my channel and like my videos and press the bell icon so you will get the video notification on daily basis. So you will not miss any important information. Thank you so much for your time and patience.